Picture the scene. You've stepped on the scale this morning, you've been training 4 times a week, you've been keeping on top of your food, you've been doing everything right, but the number went up. And just like that, your motivation is ruined. You think you've lost all of the progress that you made. If that sounds familiar to you, in this video, I'm going to break down exactly why that number lied to you, why it's been sabotaging your progress, and what to do instead. Because the scale is probably the single worst way to measure fat loss. Granted, it is a way, but by the end of this video, you're going to have a completely different system, one that actually tells you what's actually happening in your body, one that keeps you motivated and stops you quitting every single time the number does something weird. So let's get into it. Let me ask you something. What does that number on the scale actually measure? Because so many yo-yo dieters will say, that's how much fat I've got, or at least that's what we think. But obviously that's not what it measures at all. It's just measuring your pull of gravity to the earth, and that's made up of everything in your body: your bones, your organs, your muscle, your fat, the food that you ate today, the water that you're holding, all of it. And the issue is that all of these things can shift on a daily basis for reasons that have absolutely nothing to do with your body composition. And water retention is the big one, because your body can hold anywhere from 1 to 3 kilograms of extra water, depending on a whole list of factors, especially if you're in the UK at the moment. The weather is boiling, so you might see that the scales have gone up, but your body is just holding more water to regulate your temperature. It's not because you've gained fat, it's because your body is literally just trying to keep you alive. Stress and high cortisol is something else that will tell your body to hold more water. Hormones, especially important for women. You might see it swing by 2, 3, even 4 kilograms at the exact same body fat percentage. Eat more salt and your body holds more water. Or if you eat more carbs, every gram of carbohydrate stores 3 grams of water. So if you ate more carbs yesterday, then the scales probably will be higher today. So when you step on the scale and the number's gone up, you have no idea why it's up. Is it fat? Is it water? Is it that pasta that you ate last night? You have no idea, and that's the issue. But one of the main points that I want you to take from this video, besides not getting attached to that number on the scale, is that the goal is not to lose weight. The goal is to lose fat. And those are two completely different things, because the scales can't tell you what's happening. So if the scale isn't the answer, then what is? I'm going to give you 4 metrics that give you a much better understanding of what's actually happening inside your body. Number 1, progressive overload in the gym, which is underrated as a progress marker. If you're lifting heavier than you were 6 weeks ago, the weights that used to feel hard now feel more manageable, then your body has changed, you've built muscle, and that's exactly what gives you that toned, defined look, and what increases your metabolism so you burn more calories at rest. Number 2, how your clothes fit, and this might sound obvious, but just choose one item of clothing, whether it's a pair of jeans, a dress, whatever you feel fits you tightly at the moment, then just try it on every 2 to 3 weeks, because when your body changes, your clothes will be one of the first things to show that, even if the scales haven't moved. But that's fat loss, and that's what you're looking for. Number 3, weekly progress photos, and I won't lie, this is one that a lot of my clients will resist the most, because it is uncomfortable. It is hard to take a picture of yourself and have to own up to where you are at the moment, especially if the things that you've done in the week prior are maybe not where they should have been. But this is the exact type of accountability that keeps people progressing. And why photos are so important is that they will show you changes in your shape, not just your weight. And it's the compound of those weekly photos over time that is one of the most powerful things. And those are changes that you just won't feel day to day, because they happen so gradually. But when you look back over 8, 12, 16, 32 weeks, you notice that difference. When taking them, just make sure you take them at the same time every week. Fasted in the morning, keep the same pose every time, same lighting, and ideally the same spot in your house. And these you don't have to share with anyone. These are for you. When your motivation is dipping, go back to week 1, because that will probably give you all the motivation that you need to move forward, because we always have, for all of us, that next level that we want to get to. But when you look back at where you are now relative to where you started, that is one of the most powerful motivators, because you have probably come further than you give yourself credit for. And number 4, grab a tape measure. Measure around your waist and around your hips, because that loss of circumference is one of the clearest measures. But fat is coming off the places that matter most. And again, this can happen when the scales stay exactly the same, but you lose fat around your midsection. All of these things are going to help you so much. When you're stepping on the scale and it's not changing and you're getting demotivated, look at these other measures of tracking your progress instead. And as long as we can make sure that 1 or 2 of them are moving in the right direction every single week, that's the motivation that you need to keep yourself going, and you know that what you're doing is working. Now let's get on to how to use the scales properly, because I'm not saying don't use them at all and just throw them in the bin, but use it more for looking at trends over time, not as a daily measure of progress. So weigh yourself every morning under the same conditions, log the number, but don't look into the individual readings day to day, because a single number on a single day will tell you you literally nothing. But the pattern over 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks will tell you everything. If you do find that stepping on the scale every day messes with your head, then just don't do it daily, do it weekly instead. And now a few things I want to talk about specifically because we're in the summer now, and this is where so many people will fall off track. So firstly, make sure to keep your strength training consistent, minimum 3 times a week. When I know it can feel less appealing when it's hot and you think you can just swap it for walks or swimming, but nothing is going to replace that strength training, which is giving your body shape. Number 2 is keep your protein intake up. Naturally, your appetite is going to drop in the heat, and I've experienced this a lot for myself when I'm currently in a gaining phase, trying to get in 4,000 calories a day, which when it's as warm as it is now, it's so hard to get all those calories in. But whether that target is for you, whether you're in a gaining phase or you're focusing on dropping fat, always focus on your protein intake, minimum of 1.6 grams per kilo per day, but always 2 grams per kilo as an ideal to aim for. Number 3, watch the liquid calories because they're going to be everywhere. The alcohol, the cocktails, the smoothies, the juices, the iced coffees, they don't feel like eating, but the calories are still adding up. Not to say don't enjoy it, but just be aware of what you're putting in. And probably the most important point here on how to manage summer is that, yes, if fat loss is your goal, you have to be in a calorie deficit, but anything above 600 to 700 calories below your maintenance, and you're moving into muscle loss territory, especially if you're not keeping up the strength training that you've been doing up until now. So don't think that you can just write the summer off entirely. Keep yourself focused on the basics, get your strength training in, keep your protein up, and keep your calories where they need to be. To pull this all together, the scale is not your enemy, but stop letting it make decisions about how you feel and whether you're progressing. Instead, track the things what matters: progressive overload in your training, how your clothes fit, your progress photos, and your measurements. And those will give you a much better picture of what's actually happening in your body. Use the scale as a tool, but if it's messing with your head, then put it away because you don't need it to make progress. If you want to learn more about this, I'm running a free live webinar this Thursday, the 16th of July. We're going to cover how to structure your training and nutrition over summer, how to make room for social events so you're not missing out, but more importantly, giving you a system you can actually stick to and keep you progressing over the summer. You'll also get my free full recipe guide, which includes the best viral recipes that I've tried, and you get that just for showing up. We start on Thursday, 7:30 p.m. UK time, and I'll put the link to register in the description. Spots are limited because I want to keep it small enough to actually help people. If you're interested, grab your spot and I'll see you on Thursday. And as always, if you enjoyed this video, drop a like, subscribe to see more content like this from me, and I'll see you in the next one.